Hi everyone. In this session, we will be discussing about reports life cycle. Even though you don't see any fancy slide here, but the content is really important because if you want to change your career to report development, or if you are looking for a job, either as a Power BI developer or any report developer, you should understand all these points in the slide so that you prepare your mindset accordingly. Okay, so let us take one example and we can discuss about all these points one by one. So consider that you joined an organization and you got all the required access. Now you met your stakeholders, that means your business users who will be consuming the reports that you develop. So here in this case, they usually do some process manually sometimes, or they might expect a new report altogether from the system. So the reports which they are currently doing manually, they have some reference. They have some reference report in usually in Excel. So they'll share that with you, and you start developing on it. Otherwise, you have to start that report from the scratch. They'll explain you the details, how they want it, or what are the specifications of that report. So that is nothing but the requirements gathering. You have to sit with the business user who will be the end user for that report, and he will give you the sign off once you complete the development of that report. He will be the one confirms you that that is working as per the requirement. So you have to sit with him and understand the requirements of that report end to end. Then comes the data collection. So assume that that user gave you one big Excel sheet. Now you have to understand what are the dimensions or measures he will be using in that report. And accordingly, you need to go back to your technical team. Maybe sometimes you have to reach out to ETL team or database team to understand where you can get those specific elements that user is consuming in the report. So it might not be from the single source. Then you have to list out all the data sources that you need. Okay, then comes the data preparation. In the data preparation, you understand your data, and you might not pull the entire data sets into your report. You have to identify what are the actual elements you need, and see if they are at your at the report requirement granularity. If that is not the case, then you might have to aggregate the report data, or else you might have to sometimes join multiple data sets. Sometimes you might have to create new columns based on the existing columns, because the data that gets stored in a database might be different, might be in the different nomenclature compared to what the end user is using. So currently he might be mapping that manually or doing a VLOOKUP in the Excel sheet. Now at this step, you need to bring your data into the required format. Okay. Then comes the report design part. Then you need to come with a layout. In case of any existing report that business users are giving, right? They have some layout in mind, and that they'll share it with you so that you have some idea what you will be developing. If it is a new report altogether, then you need to come up with the design or layout which suits the customer requirements. Then it will go to and forth discussions with the customer. He might agree with the layout or might not. So accordingly, you need to change the layout, and based on the layout, you might have to again change the data preparation, because now he wants some other details. Once you complete the entire data model part, then you need to concentrate on the theme of the report. So every organization will have their own color theme. They want to have all the reports or the dashboards in those particular colors. So it is always better to consult with your UX team, if you have any, before going ahead with your own components, or with your own color combinations. Okay. Then comes the actual report development part. Now you know the design and you know what to do. Then this part you translate the report requirements into the actual artifact. Okay. Then comes the collaboration and sharing part. Okay. Now you are working on that report. Usually it is the case that you are not the only one who is working on that report. You will be part of a team who will be working on different kind of reports, and some other team member also might be helping you. So you need to understand how you should collaborate with the other team members as well, and how you can share your work with the entire team. So usually this collaboration happens with Git tool. So the intermediate stages or the final artifact that you develop, you push your artifact into the Git repository, and your teammates or the person who is reviewing your report, right, he might review that report and give the confirmation that that is working. At least this can be a peer review, or your manager might review this one. Okay. Then comes the report deployment part. Now, whatever the work you are doing so far, this is entire all these steps. This is happening in dev environment. Now, you need to understand how you can publish this report to different environments, because end user will not have the access to the dev environment. So they have their own environment to test the reports with the near real time data that happens in UAT environment. So in any reporting tool, now you need to move your report or artifact to the other environment where user can test that report. Okay, so this is really important. Now, once you deployed that report, now you need to give the access to that particular user, and only you need to give the sufficient access. No need to give edit access or admin activities. You should give the necessary the required access to all your business users who review your report, and who will sign off on your report. Okay. Now now this report development is part is completed, and user is happy with your report. Now then comes the report distribution part. Now user might have a provision to check your report through a web portal or Power BI service. In case of Power BI, sometimes what they want is they want to get this report on daily basis. Okay. So they yeah, so they want this report in the form of a PDF format in their mailbox. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to you if the reporting tool supports that kind of a feature, then you can configure that, and you can subscribe the user to that particular report, so that they'll get that report as per the frequency. Okay. And don't think this is completed. As you start working on that report, right, and people start using that report, they'll come up with change requests again. They might see something which they didn't think in the initial phase. So they'll give again change requests in this report, and you have to start this process again from the beginning. Okay. So the people who wants to learn Power BI, or who wants to come to report development career, right? So they only concentrate initially on the report development part. In case of Power BI, you will be checking only on the Power BI desktop tool. So even if you see the content in YouTube or any paid platform also, right? So you will see tutorials mostly on the Power BI desktop. Okay. So few people cover the deployment part as well, and report design part as well. But once you start appearing for the interviews, right, they will start probing you on all these aspects, because as a report developer you need all these things, otherwise it will be very difficult to manage in a real work environment. So when you are learning any reporting tool, right, you should concentrate on all these points, not only on simply creating few graphs and assuming that you know that reporting tool. First, start with the report development part, since you have more resources to learn this. Then you start thinking at more higher. At You need to see the holistic approach here, so that you will be ready for the work environment. Okay, so that's it for this session. Thanks for watching this video.